The socioeconomic development of any nation is hinged on the development of engineering in such a country. And on this note, I want to welcome you to Engineering and You, a program where we encourage young Nigerians to venture into engineering and make engineering their course of choice. My name is Tunde Olaniro, your regular anchor on this program. And to start with, in case you are just watching the program for the very first time, this is a program where we interact. We don't only talk to you, but you get to talk to us. And we have questions that we ask you on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, as a matter of fact. So for today, our question for today is, if layers of fluid have no frictional force between them, then it's known as what? If layers of fluid have no frictional force between them, it's known as what? If you know the answer, just pick your phone, call us, or go to our Facebook page at OGTV and YouTube, OGTV Abeokuta, Instagram, Ogun State Television, and we'll have the conversation going. The program is sponsored by Prince Engineer Yemisi Shilon, FNSC, and supported by NSC Abeokuta branch. We'll take this very short break because my guest is already in the house, and when we return, I'll read the profile of my guest to you. All right, welcome back. My guest is Engineer Elder Ademola Abogunrin, the Baale Ibogun of Ilugboro, NSC MIE-FNIPE. Was educated at the prestigious Abeokuta Grammar School and Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, formerly Ogun State Polytechnic, where he graduated with an HND in Electrical Electronics Engineering. His work experience in civil service spanned 31 years, began and ended with the National Electric Power Authority, NEPA, which metamorphosed into Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN, and now the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. He was for many years concentrated on power system protection and metering, on distribution, transmission, and generation network, also known as SCADA. Also, he is into SCADA system engineering, grid metering and distribution network, and system operation management. He retired in December 2019 as Assistant General Manager to the then newly created Abuja Regional System Operation, which comprises of 25 TCN substations. He is also one of the few SCADA engineers in Nigeria. He was the first AGM SCADA in the TCN headquarters, Abuja. He was trained in SCADA engineering in Germany and South Korea, China, Sweden, among others. He is presently chairman of the Nigerian Institute of Power Engineers, Abeokuta branch, and he is presently chairman and founder of Vivid Paint Nigeria Limited. This profile is so long, I'll have to abridge it. Welcome to Engineering and You, Engineer Abogunrin. First of all, before we go to SCADA, because I'm just hearing that word for the first time, I want to know why venture into power subsets of electrical engineering?
When I was employed to NEPA those days, 1988 precisely. I was in, after my 2 years pupillage, the training, they always train engineers for 2 years. I was posted to protection department. After then, I had interest
All right, welcome back. Sorry for that little hitch. Okay, you are talking about why you chose power subset of electrical engineering.
When I was employed in 1988 into NEPA at that time, after the 2 years training that NEPA normally give us, I came into, I was in protection, I was posted in protection engineering in Jeba and some other stations for about 2 years. Then I had one department called SCADA that they needed staff. Then I approached the head of department that I wish to venture into it because I know it's a new innovation, and when I read about it, I discovered that it is something that it will be that I will not be bored about in doing, and that's why I accepted to do SCADA.
What is SCADA?
Yeah, SCADA is a supervisory control and data acquisition. It is actually a kind of system where you have a master station somewhere and you have a remote station. The remote station will bring some real data data to the master station, and the master station, the system is that it works automatically. It's a kind of system where you have is a system application program which controls the an industrial process. This industrial process will gather information real time, for that matter, from the remote stations or from remote location to control an equipment and conditions.
All right, all that you said, how does it apply to the layman, somebody in their house, on the street?
Okay.
What does it bring about? Okay,
I will give you an example of the power system. For example, in Nigeria, we have only one master station, that is a national control station, center, Oshogbo. We have a supplementary one in where we call Shiroro, which is if NCC, National Control Center, fails, the supplementary control center will come up automatically. And in the remote station, all those stations in Nigeria, that is 330 kV, stroke 132, all those stations in Nigeria, they send signal, real-time data to the master station. That is, the master station will be saying, I want information, like all those stations, for example, could be metering, that is current, voltage, and some other things to that place, and they will be seeing it real one. And also, you can control with your system. You can open a breaker from the National Control Center. You can open a breaker in Oshogbo, in Kano, from that side. That's what SCADA does for you. And also, it works. It's supposed to work if our system is really working very well, and that's why that's partly why power is failing in Nigeria. If SCADA system is really working well, it's supposed to work with governors of the generating stations. Everything is supposed to work together. There's something we call spinning reserve. Spinning reserve is a kind of power that is kept somewhere. It should be kept. You have surplus, and if there is either deep, if there's no, if the supply is going down or whatever, for example, we have a frequency of 48.5. If load goes down and you need more power, it comes up automatically. If, for peradventure, there is a high voltage, that is, generators are going off on their own, there's a way it compensates for it.
So I used to hear that power cannot be stored, but now you are telling us that with SCADA engineering, you can stop.
No, we cannot stop power.
So
yeah, I will explain to you. It is the generating station, we have to come in. They will tell them, if they come in automatically, it will have been set. It's a preset thing. It will have been set.
Right, we have a caller. Abdul Latif. Abdul Latif, good evening. Can you hear us, Abdul Latif? I think we lost that. So please call us back.
That what I was saying is that it will have been set. The question again, sorry.
The power, storage of power.
Yeah, storage of power. We don't store power. We have advised that the power stations they will have enough power. That if there is any issue, they will start. The machine will start automatically. That's why we have governors in those generating stations, and the governor will just start off immediately, work with SCADA, and there won't be even you will not even notice. That's what happens abroad, that power has been lost or something. So it's not that you stop power.
Okay, the recent national grid breakdown that we had at 2-3 in the last how many months. Now, that means that with this technology you're talking about, we don't have to have power outage at all. It will just come up.
It's supposed to be, but we have a lot of problems in the system. When this SCADA was deployed, in Nigeria, there was a lot of gaps. The switchers equipments were old. All those inputs that I said will bring real-time data. Some of them, they are not even working. So the contract was given, and there were problems everywhere. So it was not working perfectly, and that's why the problem we have now in Nigeria. If SCADA works, if we have all those generating stations are okay, and transmission too, if because there will always be limitation of limitation one time or the other, but we need more money to be pumped into the system. If you have more money pumped into the system, I always laugh at people.
We have a caller. Hello, Ezekiel. Ezekiel, good evening.
Hello.
How are you doing? How is Delta State today?
Yeah, good. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
The question I want to answer, I think if the layers of fluid have
if the layers of fluid have no frictional force between them, what is it known as?
The answer to this question is because it's known as viscous.
All right, we'll let you know if you are the winner for the day. Thank you so much. Keep watching. We'll let you know in due time. Thank you very much. All right, let me ask this question, because all that you said, now the program is Engineering and You because we want to know how these engineering terminologies and all would make life of people better. Now, is it possible that if we deploy SCADA engineering, we can have power in our houses 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week?
That is true. And you have to encourage more power stations to have governors. That's something we have governors on their generators. And that's why government has, I know in TCN now, they want to bring another SCADA in, and they must all their, so many things have to work, like I said. The switchyard equipment must be able to be working well, not failing. The circuit breakers must be remote control ready. If they are not remote control ready, then it can't work. So you can't open a breaker in Osogbo, and when your circuit breaker you cannot open remotely, it won't work.
Is SCADA meant for transmission, generation, or distribution?
Actually, it is.
Right, we have another caller, Shola from Abuja. Shola, good evening. Good evening, Shola. How are you doing?
Fine.
All right, Shola, you are loud and clear. Do you have a question for us, or you want to answer our question?
I want to answer the question.
All right, Sheila, go ahead. Sheila, please go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, the answer is not too non-fictional post.
Non-fiction. Okay, we'll let you know if you are correct. Keep watching the program. At the end of the program, we'll let you know if you are a winner or not. Thank you so much. All right. Like I was saying earlier on, all our concern is now: is SCADA useful in generation? Is it useful in transmission or distribution? Where
It is useful in all of them. Abroad, distribution has SCADA, transmission has SCADA, and generation has SCADA. Most of you can have SCADA individually, and we have one that has to work with the grid system together. Everything has to work, so you won't know what happens because everything will have been preset. Everything will work automatically. There is this idea that operators will not, there will be loss of jobs and some other things. People fear that, but if we are to do such things, that's how technology works. It must be.
All right, we have another caller. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. And you, sir?
I'm all right. We are doing fine. Do you have a question for my guests, or you want to?
Yeah, I just want to answer the question. Then on the screen.
All right. What's the answer? What's the answer you want to give us?
The moment there is no flow in between the layers, that is called the non-fiscal.
All right. Okay. Keep watching. We'll let you know if you are the winner. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for calling. All right, I would like to, because our time is now running, but I would like us to look at the issue of deregulation of this power sector that was done almost a decade ago. Now, some people say it's the right idea, right way to go. Some say we aren't right for it yet. What is your own take on that?
Well, I think it was right. It was right. But the only thing is that I think in this, for example, with the disco companies, that is the distribution companies, the way they took it was not the right. Immediately, I think what I heard or what I know is that immediately when they took they bought it, they were not. They started sacking guys. I mean NEPA guys, and the new guys that they put, I think they were not trained. Some of them were not trained. Even the response to faults nowadays is even worse than when NEPA was there.
So you'd have preferred that they shouldn't have deregulated it? Okay, John from Ijebu. Good evening, John. John, good evening. How are you? So what do you have for us? Do you want to ask my guest a question or? All right, John, go ahead. All right, we lost John there. Okay, as we begin to round off, you're talking about the deregulation of the power sector.
Yes, I was saying that I would have preferred that it is left that way. I mean, it's not deregulated at all, because what happens to disco eventually, we were all not happy, because they are not. What I heard was that they are not even paying back. I mean, they are the one that will collect the whole proceeds. They are not even paying back to the system. So I don't think they are doing well.
Okay, but some are of the opinion that our problem is not distribution. Our problem is not generation. But our problem is transmission, because so much is being generated, but we don't have the capacity. According to what we know, 12,000 megawatts is generated, 4,000 is being distributed all over the country. The gap in between the transmission is.
I think I was AGM system operation, so I was I'm a door. I'm a door. I can see transmission and I can see operation. And I know distribution people used to come to meet me to get permits. I know that it is not true. In most cases, they are the one that will not clear before. When the transmission even wants to give them power, they are not ready to take it because they will not do their normal maintenance for them to take power to the masses. So it's not actually transition problems. They might have their own problems one time or the other, but not entirely transmission.
All right.
It is predominantly distribution that is in trouble.
Okay.
Which we should fix.
All right, we'll fix this. But I want you to look at the camera and help us encourage a young Nigerian watching this program on the need for them to venture into engineering as a passing shot.
Well, young Nigerians, I will say, engineering is a lucrative job and it's a lucrative discipline. And apart from that, if you are in it, you'll be bold. Like when I retired, I set up 2 companies. At the same time, I was bold enough to do that because I know what it takes. And also, people should not fear mathematics. I think that's their problem. Mathematics is not something to be feared. You have to be the friend to mathematics. You must befriend it. And I know by the time you do it, from engineering, you can do other courses. You can be a lawyer in future. You can be anything. So I believe, and like I told you, I have a paint industry which is chemical. I'm fixing, and I'm doing well in it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Engineering is lucrative. That's the crux of what my guest is talking about. And I want to say a big thank you to Engineer Demola Abogunrin for coming to this week's session of Engineering. Now today we asked you a question, and the question is: if layer of fluid have no frictional force between them, then it is known as what? The answer is non-viscous. We have 3 people that got it right: Ezekiel, Sheila, and Ariola. But we are going to give a prize to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, I know you're watching us. Call this number 0803 684 7505. That is 0803 684 7505, and claim your prize. The prize is courtesy Prince, our sponsor, Prince Engineer Yemiti Shilon, FNSC. Now, to part today because our chat goes on after this program, and our question for the week is: if value of moment arm is 0, the torque produced will be what? If value of moment arm is 0, the torque produced.